Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina, my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. And we're here in the Panhandle of Florida. We went through the K1 visa process and got married on the beach. And now we're putting together our green card application. Well, not mine, Karina's. And we've come a long way with that. We had a good day today. It's 55 degrees here with no rain. We had a nice day out. And we're having a good. Went back to the Social Security Administration office, and we got Karina on my military health insurance. Bud Garcia, good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Ross from Washington State. We give Bud a Mountain Dew salute from Washington. Tony Campo, hello from Illinois. We love our friends in Illinois. Hopefully the weather's not too bad up there for you. And Bud Garcia, I have a question. That's why we are here, for questions, free answers, free questions. You give me free questions and I give you free answers, right? And I save you a bunch of money on an immigration attorney. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for the government. I don't work for the State Department. I don't give you any legal advice. And I got to say that, and I just said it, but I do have 9 years of experience doing this K1 visa nightmare, I guess you would call it. And I know how to do it. I can write the book on how to process a K1 visa. And Bud Garcia, if I don't hear from the NVC by the 20th of this month, that would be 4 months. What should I do an inquiry? Absolutely. Why don't you send an inquiry today or tonight or tomorrow? Send it tonight. Send them an inquiry. Say, hey, where's my case number? What's going on? And let's see what happens. Kamira 1, hello Diego and Karina from Boston, Massachusetts, Boston, Illinois, Washington State. We're getting everybody from all around, from all these beautiful places around the United States of America. And G Hin, hi Diego, we have our visa interview the 27th of February. Good. Thank you for all of your help. You're welcome. Congratulations. And Larry Piercy is online. Larry Piercy, our wonderful veteran from Pensacola. Bud Garcia, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, get on it. Bud, go ahead and send him an inquiry and find out what's going on with your NBC welcome letter. Now today we went to the military base and finally I got Karina on my military health care. Okay, I only took 3 trips, but if you're a veteran, if you're a retiree from the military and you're trying to get somebody on TRICARE, okay, make sure that you bring at least 2 forms of ID for your beneficiary, whether that includes his or her passport and or another form of ID. And if it's like a cedula from a foreign country, primarily the birth certificate. Now, if you have the birth certificate for your beneficiary and it's in Spanish or some language that the military folks cannot read at the TRICARE base, get it translated into English by a certified translator, and a certified translator will include an ATA number on the bottom of the translation. TRICARE will need that number to approve your translation of your beneficiary's birth certificate. Bud Garcia, I'm hoping I will hear from him soon. Oh, you will, Bud. You gotta hang in there. It took 4 months for us to get our welcome letter from the NBC. So just hang in, send an inquiry. Okay, we'll help you through this. Francois Livingston, hello Diego and Karina, the quiet Tokyo. Tokyo is noisy Tokyo. No, he's noisy. He likes to wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and play with the blinds because he wants to look out the window. And then he'll wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning because he wants to look out the window. And then he'll wake me up at 6 o'clock because he wants to go out and play in the living room. But Tokyo is not, he's normally not, he's being quiet today because he's not here. He's in the other room. Okay. I put him in timeout so we can do our live stream for you guys. Jen, FYI, everyone, from my petition submitted to USCIS on June 2022. Interviews this month. Like Diego says, be patient. It will come. Jen, that's fantastic advice right there. You got it right. You hit the nail right on the head. The secret to this whole thing is being patient because everybody wants to have it done today. Like I wanted to get Karina on my health insurance for military like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. But I had to they keep changing the rules. Got to have this, got to do this, got to do that. Just stay calm, be patient. And today, Karina has her military ID card. She can now go on the base, go to the commissary, go to the exchange, and she's good to go. Plus, she was enrolled in DEERS, which is the Defense Enrollment for Military Health Insurance. So she's covered. She's good. We're just trying to figure out what the heck happened to her Social Security card. I got a text. I got an email from the post office saying that the Social Security Administration mailed her Social Security card from Baltimore, Maryland, 3 days ago. And normally, when I get an email from the post office telling me that they have shipped something, it's a photo of the letter. It's there that day. We're day 3, and we still haven't got it. So we went back to the Social Security office and said, "Hey, I need Karina's Social Security number for her medical. We don't have the card. Where's the card?" So on the 18th of this month, I'm going to initiate an investigation on where that card, where her Social Security number card is. Apparently, it's not the first person. She's not the first person to have it disappear in the postal system. But I'm going to fix it real quick, like. Bud Garcia, it's a waiting process. Larry Piercy, I want to start my green card application. So I-485, I-765, I-864, and the medical exam. Don't forget the 693. Get a new medical exam done by Dr. Lucy in Pensacola. It's $175. Redo the medical exam, so that way you know you're not going to get an RFE for the medical. All right, just redo that, the 693, and don't forget, include a copy of your marriage certificate, your marriage license. Once you get her on your health insurance, make a copy of that showing the immigration folks that she has health insurance. I got a copy of Karina's TRICARE documents today. That's going in the green card application that says that she has full health insurance. So immigration is going to look and say, okay, so Karina's got full health insurance. She's good to go. She's got a military ID with my last name on it. So, that's really strong evidence right there for her green card. Bud Garcia, congratulations, Karina. Benedictions para ti, tu Toreta para military, for your military ID. Yeah, she's part of the military family now. She's a military spouse. Okay, she's a military spouse now. She can go on base and go shopping at the commissary and all that. And she's got health insurance and she's got all this good stuff. Now I just got to find her a Social Security card because they want to see it. I said, I can't find it. It's in the mail somewhere. And they said, okay, well, when you get it, bring it back. We got to see it. So I may be launching an investigation on the post office here very soon. Let me see. Tony Campo, I have a situation. My fiance did her interview in Bogota, Colombia, and she got the 221G. They asked for police records from the time she was living in Mexico. That's normal. If you live in another country other than, let's say, Colombia for 6 months or longer, you got to get a police certificate from that country. Karina lived in Venezuela. She's from Venezuela. We got a police certificate from Venezuela. We got a police certificate from Colombia. We got an Interpol police certificate from Colombia, and we got her covered. So I don't care what country you live in. Let's suppose you're from Brazil and you lived in Chile for 6 months or 8 months or a year. You got to get a police certificate from Brazil, from the districts or the states that you lived in Brazil, plus the other country, like let's say Chile. Okay. So guys, you got to pay attention to this stuff. Avoid these 221Gs. Avoid these, these embassy blocks. It's not a block, okay? Her visa's approved. They just need that police certificate from Mexico. Once you get it, then you'll get the visa. Okay, you got it, Tony? I think that was Tony, right? Who said that? Let me see here. So it's not, Tony, it's not a situation. It's just a process. Your beneficiary lives in Mexico. Got to get a police certificate from Mexico. And so we finally got it and submitted it to the via email, how they instructed. Good. My question is, how long before they review our case again? Probably within a week. I emailed Karina's Interpol police certificate to the embassy in Bogota, and within 3 days, she had her green card. Excuse me, she had her K1 visa in her passport. It took 3 days. And it was actually 2 days, but I didn't check the phone for an extra, I didn't bother to check for the status. And Karina said, check the status. And I went, okay, oh, it's been issued. Let's go get it. So it was actually 2 days, but it's 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days, and we went down to Bogota. We picked up her K1 visa. Make sure when you go to pick up your K1 visa from the U.S. government office in Bogota, you bring your Colombian cedula with you. Make a copy of it in case they want a copy of it. And if you have any kids for K2, bring their birth certificates with you, because they will not give you the K1 visa in the passport without the birth certificate of the child. So if you are in Bogota, Colombia on a K2, when you go pick up the K1 visa, bring the children's birth certificates with you, plus your cedula, Miss Sponsor or Mr. Sponsor. A beneficiary. You got it? Got to have it. And let me see. Larry Piercy, 693. Yeah. Larry, before you send in the green card application, I want to go over that for you to make sure you don't make any mistakes. All right? I will help you. I will check your green card application before you mail it to Chicago. Okay? In person. So you don't mess it up. Tony Camper, ever since we sent it, which was about a week ago, we haven't heard anything, not even an email saying they received it. Check your SEAC status. Go to your SEAC account and check the status of your K1 visa. They will tell you what they have done with that Mexican police certificate in the SEAC status. Got to check. Okay? You got it? Did you hear me? Tony, check your SEAC status. Larry Piercy, how are you going to fix the Social Security situation? Well, I'm going to get us, on the 18th of this month, I will ask for a new card to be sent to our house. And I will ask that it be put in a tracking UPS or FedEx, so that they don't lose it. But I'm going to initiate an investigation on the post office to find out why they lost her Social Security card. You don't just do that. Something happened between when they mailed it from Maryland, because I'm watching the mailbox every day. So nobody went into our mailbox and stole it. Not that they would anyway in this neighborhood. So nobody took it. So it's somewhere in the system with the post office. So there's either a misfiled somewhere with the post office, or there's somebody in the post office who's acquiring Social Security cards. Just my opinion. I'm not accusing anybody, but I'm going to get it investigated to find out. Karina will get her Social Security card. There's no problem. And we have her Social Security number. We got her number. We went downtown and said, hey, I need a number. They gave her Social Security number, but we want the card. And we're going to find it. And if I initiate an investigation with the postal, the post office, the head honchos, they will find they will find it. Let me see. Francois Livingston. Wait a second here. I don't want to miss anybody's question. Bert Garcia, yes, she is, and that is a big world. Yeah, it's a big world. JS, hey, my fiance and I got married. Congratulations. Will her last name change? Happen when we filed the adjustment of status. Her last name changed when you got married, okay? But you won't get it on any official documents until you file for the green card, okay? So when Karina applied for her Social Security number, the card, when we finally get it, will have her maiden name on it because she hasn't got a green card yet. But when you file for the green card, you're going to put Karina's taking my last name. When we file for the green card at the end of the month, when her green card comes in, it's going to have my last name on it. She's taking my last name. Then we'll go back to the Social Security office with her green card and say, here she is on an official document. Change her last name in the Social Security system. It's not hard to do. Let me see. But when you file for the adjustment of status, JS, when you fill out the form for the green card, if you put your last name on the paperwork for her, then the green card will come in with her having your last name. Francois, if only people tuned in every week, because you have discussed it many times when you went through it, when you two went through it. I've been over it. If, police certificates are mandatory, guys, unless you lived in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, it's next to impossible to get a police certificate. It's hard. You can't get one. Let's suppose you're from the Philippines and you went to work in Saudi Arabia for a year. Trying to get a Saudi Arabian police certificate is pretty much, unless you go back to Saudi Arabia, it's hard to get. You can't get it online. If you lived and worked in Hong Kong, I recommend you fly to Hong Kong, go to the police station and get it, and request your police certificate in person. If you lived in Hong Kong, you can do it by mail, but I mean, the Hong Kong Police Department will only send the documents to the embassy. Let's suppose you're from the Philippines and you lived in Hong Kong for a year, worked in Hong Kong. Okay, no problem. But if you apply for the police certificate by mail or in person, you got to prove you're in a K1 visa process. So you got to bring your NOA2 letter with you. Yeah, here I am, my approved visa. You got to bring your passport and another form of ID. And then the Hong Kong police will send the police certificate to the embassy in Manila or wherever country it is you live in. Singapore, Australia, whatever it is. Larry Piercy, Diego, can you remember to tell me where personal office on base? The personnel office on base. I don't know where it is. I never go there. What do you mean, the personnel office? You talking for the green card, for the TRICARE? I did it. I used the Air Force Base. I used the Special Operations Air Force Base. I don't go on the Navy base. I don't go on any military base unless I absolutely have to. I did that for 20 plus years. I'm sick and tired of showing my ID to go to work. For military ID? Yeah, for military ID, I don't know where the office is on the Navy base. I know where it is at the Air Force Base. Let me see. Bud Garcia, when my fiance gets here, we want to go to Florida for vacation and meet you guys. Okay, well, come on, Bud. We'd love to see you. Larry Piercy, absolutely more steaks coming off, buddy. Oh, Larry, you're gonna buy Karina another steak. I want to give you a salute, a Mountain Dew salute for that. Gina, hola Karina. Felicidades. Estoy feliz que estás con tu esposo. Yo también. Yo estoy en el proceso. Gracias por compartir con nosotros su proceso. Espero poder casarme en 2 meses.
Oh, sí, pronto. Felicidades.
Poco tiempo. And when I went to the Air Force Base today to help Karina get her military ID, the clerk at the desk there in the military, there's like 2 people that could speak fluent Spanish. I just shut up because I didn't have to translate nothing. Larry, incompetence drives me nuts. I got a picture in my phone that the Social Security office in Maryland mailed Karina her Social Security card. I got evidence. I can prove it. I can prove that it hasn't arrived at our house. So somewhere between Maryland and Florida, in the postal system, somebody has Karina's Social Security card. I'm going to find it. I am going to find it. JS, so fill out the adjustment of status paperwork with the married last name, even though the K1 process was with the maiden name. You got it. When you file for your green card, when Karina files for her green card on February 29th of this month, she has my last name on everything. And when you fill out the paperwork, it says, what's your name? It says Karina Ross. What other names have you used in the past? Karina and her maiden name. It's easy. And folks keep asking me to make a video on how to fill out the adjustment of status forms, like the affidavit of support. I can do that, but it just takes a lot of time because it's like 20 pages, guys. So if I made a video on how to do that, like I made a video on how to process the I-134, I can do it, but just give me time, okay? I don't want to make a bad video so you guys get confused. My job is to unconfuse everybody so you can understand this process without getting confused. Larry Piercy, the 864 is tricky. Well, I'm going to make it untricky. I'm going to make it easy. I'll make it so easy for you guys, even a caveman can do it. And I copied that from a commercial. I don't know if you remember those commercials back in the day. So that's, the I-860, the Form 864 is the affidavit of support. Okay, it's not hard to fill out. The only thing you probably got to do is use whiteout because the computer program won't allow you to change the family size. The family size in the I-864 stays 1 all the time. What if you're a family of 3, right? If you're a family of 3, then you get your little whiteout thing. I don't know if I got it right here. It's not here, but you get your little whiteout thing. You white out the 1, and you write 3 in black ink, or 4, or 5, or 6. Okay? You change that form, you can use whiteout, but the little tiny itty bitty bit of whiteout, and then change the family size. Don't count yourself twice. The biggest problem that people have, the biggest mistake that people make on the I-864 is they count themselves twice, and they get an RFE. Well, how come you got you and 2 beneficiaries, but your family size is 4? How'd you do that? Just be careful on that Form I-864. I'll make a video on that first, I think. Larry Piercy, how can the family size stay 1? It cannot. It cannot stay 1. You're in accordance with the CDC and Homeland Security. Your family size is a minimum of 2. Minimum of 2 in a immigration process. It's 2 minimum, and then it goes up from there. If you got any kids. Tony Kemper, the Geico commercials. So easy, a caveman can do it. The immigration process is so easy, a caveman can do it. Or a cave woman. Let's not forget the cave women. Okay? It's easy to do. But they make it so complicated in the way they explain how to do stuff. So I'm uncomplicating stuff for you. Hey, Benny Yao, look at you. Look at that super chef. Benny Yao gets a Mountain Dew. Where's the camera? Mountain Dew super chat. And Benny Yao, you should be wrapping up your whole process now. It should be about done, right? A super chat salute to Benny. Yes. Benny Yao, and I think you're in California. Larry Piercy. We'll get bud and have a steak. Okay. I'm in on that. And Jen, I just filled out the I-134. I read all the instructions, but still make sure to watch your videos. Diego, there you go. The way an immigration attorney or the USCIS explains the I-134 is complicated. And so I made it easy to understand. So you don't complicate it. Remember this, guys. The I-134 is for the embassy interview. The I-864 is used for the green card application. The I-134 is filled out by the sponsor to pass the visa interview on the financial side of things. You got to be at 100% of the minimum income requirements because the K-1 visa, even though it's an immigrant visa, it's treated as a non-immigrant visa at the embassy. So you made the 100%, right? Then you get to the United States and you file for the green card. Now you're in an immigrant status on an I-94, which is good for 90 days. Get married within 90 days. And then then the sponsor fills out an affidavit of support. And you got to be at 125% of the minimum income for the green card. If you're at the minimum, if you are like, let's say a family of 2, okay, the minimum income for a family of 2 for 2024 is $25,550. That's the minimum for the green card application. Okay, let's suppose you make $26,000. You're $500 or you're $450 over the minimum. Get a joint sponsor. Immigration is going to send you an RFE, even though you are technically within the guidelines of the income requirement. You pass the test for the income requirement. You might get an immigration officer that says, nah, he's only $450 over the minimum. I want to see somebody else on this green card. I want to see a joint sponsor. So if your income is, let's say, if the minimum income for a family of two is $25,550 for the green card, make $30,000 a year minimum. If you don't, get a joint sponsor. Just listen to me, because immigration is getting pretty tight on the income. And Benny Yao says, hi, Diego. K1 visa has been issued on February 5th. Passport pickup at the embassy scheduled for February 20th. Flying to the Ivory Coast next week to get my soon-to-be wife. Thanks again for your help in the process. Benny Yao, I knew you were that close. I knew you were close. I knew that your beneficiary, your beautiful bride, lives in the Ivory Coast, which is on the west coast of Africa. And I remember you flew to the Ivory Coast. What was it? Just a few months ago, and you were at JFK Airport in Queens. You were in the night. It was like around this time you were at JFK, John F. Kennedy International Airport, getting ready to fly to Sierra Leone, and you jumped on the live stream. So we appreciate your support, and thanks for the super chat. And we're happy for you. Finally, you got through the RFE, right? It's been tough on you. It's been hard on you mentally, I know, but you're strong and you made it. And here you are, going to get your bride. You're going to fly back, and I'm glad you're going to bring her to the United States. I'm glad you're going to accompany her through immigration, because the Border Patrol look at that. The Border Patrol, they look and see if your sponsor accompanies your beneficiary back to the United States. They check that. Okay, the sponsor has accompanied his beneficiary. They look at that. You don't see it, but on their computer, they see that. Okay, and it's gonna help prevent getting a bunch of questions at the Border Patrol office. And I'm glad you watched the video on the I-134. And somebody just sent me a text. Who is that? Oh, it's Karina's mom in Venezuela. Just texted Karina. Benny Yao, congratulations. We're very happy for you. We are glad for you. Soon you're going to get your soon-to-be wife in the United States, get your life started, and get, basically you're creating you have to create a life for your family in 90 days, right? Think about it. You get to the United States, you got to get married in 90 days. Okay? You try to get her green card applied for in 90 days, or his. You try to get a social security number applied for. You try to get a state ID or a driver's license if your beneficiary knows how to drive. You got to get them on your health insurance. You put them on the title to your car. You put them on the apartment lease. You put them on the gas bill, the electric bill. Get her a CVS card. Get her a library card. Okay? We were going to go to Sam's Club today and get Karina a Sam's Club card, but I ran out of time because we had a new guy, a new military guy. I think he was an E2, V3, trying to learn how to process military IDs. We got the new guy. So a military ID that takes normally 20 minutes to process took 2 hours because he was slow. But you know what? He had the best training of his life today because he had to process a military ID for a foreign national, okay? So he had to learn the ETA process. He had to learn, you got to have the documents translated. He had to learn how to navigate through a Venezuelan passport. He did a great job, even though it took him 2 hours, okay? I didn't want him to rush because I didn't want him to mess it up, okay? I'd rather him go slow, but we got the new guy. And today he learned a lot. So as an old retired senior chief, I was happy to get the new guy and watch him learn how to do this. Let me see. Benny Yao again. Benny Yao, salute to Benny Yao in your future family and for the super chat. Veronica Sanders finally got an interview for Ghana. July 11th, or no, yeah, it must be, right? 7-Eleven? 7-Eleven, that's not the store, right? That's July 11th, right? 2024. Bud Garcia, salute to Benny Yao. Bud Garcia, salute, is congratulating Benny Yao. Veronica Sanders, the embassy sent an email confirmation for March 12th. I have to contact them to see which one is correct. Well, let's hope it's the March 12th. Larry Piercy, get Karina a phone. There's another ID. She's going to get a phone. That's no problem right there. She's going to have her own phone. That's on my list. I got a list of stuff like this, but I'm down to like here. So I got like a list, you know, and the list is getting shorter and shorter. But primarily was health insurance and military ID. Karina's family, they use my phone anyway. I don't ever use my phone. I use my phone to check for messages from you guys in YouTube. You got questions for me in YouTube. I use my phone and respond to questions. I check the news in the morning. What's going on? Has the world blown up yet? No, we still haven't blown each other up. So I check that. And then I give the phone to Karina and say, here, contact your family. She's got family in Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, formerly in Chile in the past. And her mom just messaged her from Venezuela. To me, a cell phone is just a pain. Okay. I never had to use, the only time I used a cell phone was when I was in my last 2 years in the military, and they gave me a cell phone. I said, what is this? Well, it's a cell phone. I said, okay, and what do I do with it? They said, well, you do this, this, and this. I said, okay, great. But I got my flip phone. I had a flip phone. You fold it in half, and I didn't need to check nothing on my phone except who's calling me. Okay, now I got an iPhone. I mean, I could call in airstrikes on countries around the world from my iPhone. Maybe I could land somebody on the moon with my iPhone. Okay, but I don't care for the iPhone. I don't care for Facebook. So Karina, she can use my phone all day long. I don't care. And all her family's in my phone. It's her phone actually now, basically. But I'm going to get her own personal phone. And Larry Piercy, use WhatsApp. Oh, we use WhatsApp all the time. I did. Larry Piercy, you're tight. No, I'm not. I just don't care for the iPhone. I was happy with a flip phone. Larry says, de nada. Okay, July 11th, Veronica Sanders, July 11th. Well, it's either March or July, right? It's either March 12th or July 11th. Let's hope it's March 12th so you can get this thing over with. Larry Piercy, Herbert, the new guy for ID. Now you have to break him in. I will go there. Now I've broke him in. It's very efficient. They did a great job, Larry. But when you bring your beneficiary when you get married to get your military ID, make sure that her Thai birth certificate is totally translated into English by a certified translator, and the folks on the base will know that because there's going to be an ATA number on the translation. They include that in their computer when they update the DEERS record. They put the translation ATA number in the DEERS record. So make sure you got the birth certificate translated into English. Use the Spanish group. In California. They don't pay me to say that, but they qualified me for Karina's embassy interview, for her DEERS card, for her military ID card. They're a good company. Jen, I inquired and sent emails to my fiance's consulate. I figured it's better to have a record for paper trail. You are 100% right. 3 inquiries in a week with no reply, and then an interview scheduled the next week. Very good. But you just got to confirm the date of the interview, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to figure out what day. Bud Garcia, that is good information for me too. Okay, Bud, if you're a retired military, when you go on base to get the ID card for your beneficiary, you got to bring 2 forms of ID. This is globally now. This is all bases, every country in the world that the United States operates from. 2 forms of ID, passport, birth certificate, translated into English by a certified translator, which has an ATA number on the translation. And then you're good to go. Okay, Bart, that's what. So I hope so. Today you learned a bunch of new stuff from me, right? You learned a whole bunch of new stuff from me today on how to get an ID card without a hassle. Because I went the first time, we only had her passport. They said, "Oh, we got to have her birth certificate." I'm like, "Great." So we drove all the way back, then we drove all the way back, and then they were closed because of a computer glitch. So we went back again today with everything. Now also, Bud, get the go to Base Legal, go to the legal department on base and have a notary notarize the birth certificate saying that it is a true copy. Okay, make sure you do that. And Bud Garcia, yes, I did. When that time comes, I will ask again. I'll guide you through it when you get to that point. Okay, when you get to that point, I'll get you through that process so you don't make mistakes like I did. Well, I didn't make a mistake. I just didn't know. You know, they changed everything. They even told me my military ID was out of date. I had one of those blue military IDs. The retired military is blue. They said this we don't use this ID anymore. So I had to sit there in front of the camera and get a new picture and get a new ID. So Karina got her military ID and I got a new military ID for myself. So we had a good day. And then we were going to go to Sam's Club to get her a Sam's card. And it was getting late. And I'm like, nah, let's go home. So we got home, we ate at a Mexican restaurant, and here we are. What company was that for translations? TheSpanishGroup.org. The Spanish Group. That company is authorized by the State Department to translate documents for embassies. They're authorized by the U.S. government with an ATA number to accept translations for military IDs. I learned that today. The Spanish Group. Jen, I inquired and sent emails. Yeah, Jen, you got this. Larry, I don't think anyone from Thailand has a birth certificate. What do you mean? Sure they do. People in Thailand have a birth certificate, Larry. What company was that translation? SpanishGroup.org. Bud Garcia, yes, I am retired from the military. Well, thank you for your service, Bud. And you will probably need my help when you come to get your beneficiary her military ID, and I will guide you through it because there's a specific process, which is all new. Homeland Security's tightened things up, okay? So I don't have a problem with it. Old dog can learn new things. You're right. I'm an old dog, and I learned a new trick today, but I learned it last week. And now I've got to find Karina's Social Security card, and the post office had it somewhere, and it's lost in the mail. But they're going to get investigated because I've got a copy of the email from the post office saying they mailed it. I got it, and I got it ready to print, and I'm going to print it, and I'm going to give them till the 8th of February, and then I'm going to initiate a postal, whatever it's called, investigation. Because it may not be just Karina's card that's getting disappeared. It might be other people too. Okay, it could be one person. Just an opinion. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying it could be a problem. And I'm going to fix it. Karina's good. We got a social security number, but we just need the card. Hannah. Hi, Diego and Karina. And what's up, Hannah? What's going on in your part of the world? And Bud Garcia, same to you, Diego. You're welcome. And thank you. Annie Persord. Good night, Diego. And beautiful Karina, after getting approved for NOA 2, how many months do you have to wait to enter the United States? Well, once you get the NOA 2 letter, then you got to wait for the National Visa Center to send you the welcome letter. And then once you get the welcome letter, you got to print it. You print the welcome letter. And then you got to wait for in transit. And then you got to wait for the ready status at the embassy. And then once you get the ready status at the embassy, you send an email to the embassy. Say, hey, I'm checking in. I got my ready status. What do I do? The embassy will then tell you what the time frame is to process the K-1 visas. In Bogota right now, it's about 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know what embassy. I can't remember which country, Annie Persod. What country? But once you get the NOA 2 letter, I would say 6 months or less, and you'll be in the United States. In 6 months or less, you'll be in the United States from the day you got the NOA 2 letter in your hand. Okay? You got that? Larry Piercy, let me call the MVC for you. No, you can't do that. The MVC are not taking phone calls. You cannot get phone calls from the MVC. to the embassy. Diego, do we need to apply for an I-94 when my fiance gets to the US? I thought immigration agents were providing the I-94 to newcomers. I might need her I-94 to apply for the social security number. Let me explain how it works, Binny Yao. When you check in with the Border Patrol officer, whatever, I don't know what airport you're going to fly into, LAX, I don't know what airport, but the Border Patrol officer is going to create an I-94 electronically for your beneficiary. Give it a couple of days, give it about 4 days, and then you go into the Border Patrol website, Boston. Okay, you're going to fly into Boston, no problem. When the Border Patrol in Boston will initiate an I-94 for your beneficiary for free, but you can't. But they won't give it. They might put it in her passport, but you got to print it from the Border Patrol website, the arrival and departure form. It's the arrival and departure website for the Border Patrol. You go into the Border Patrol website, okay, and then you put in your beneficiary's name, passport number, nation, country of origin, okay, Ivory Coast in your case, and then her name will pop up on a big computer screen, which is I-94. Print like 5 copies, because when you go to, if you go to the Social Security office to get her Social Security number, in process, you got to bring the I-94 with you. They won't do anything without that I-94 form, and then have her carry that I-94 with her in her purse. That's her legal entry into the United States. That's a very strong, powerful form. That form is more powerful than the K-1 visa. The I-94 has got more weight than the K-1 visa. The K-1 visa just lets you enter the country. Then it goes away. The I-94 gives you access, if you're trying to put a kid in school, if you have a K-2, they might ask for the I-94 for your child, for the K-2, before they let him enroll in school. Depends on the state. Here in Florida, you got to have the I-94. But print 5 copies from the Border Patrol website, Binny Yao, and get that ready, okay? I'll help you. I've made a video on how to do it. I mean, if you got the time to page through all the videos, you're welcome to do that. But it'll explain how to do it in the video. But you most definitely need to bring a copy of the I-94 to the Social Security Administration office to apply for a Social Security number, plus her passport, and probably the marriage certificate. Larry Piercy, I'm probably going to get locked up over the stuff. No, you're not. And Annie Prasad is Guyana. Okay, Guyana, that's right, Guyana. So it could take 6 months or less, okay, from the NOA2 letter. Bud Garcia, how long do you think it will be before my fiance is here in the USA? Well, you've got your NOA2 letter, so probably I would say in the next 4 months for you. In about 4 months. Hannah, does U.S. Consulate compare old DS-160 applications and tourist visas with the new K-1 visa DS-160 during the interview? Yes, they do. Because my fiance got refused 3 times on a B2 visa, and last time was 9 years ago. There's no big deal. A B2 visa, getting refused for a tourist visa does not block you from getting a K-1 visa. It just means they didn't let you come here on vacation. Maybe you didn't have enough ties to the home country. In order to come to the United States on a B2 tourist visa, you basically have to own a house in your home country, have at least $10,000 in the bank, in pesos or whatever country you live in, euros, have strong family ties to your home country, because immigration want to make sure that you're going to go back home after you come to the United States on vacation. If you come to America on vacation on a B2 visa, you fill out the DS-160, that, if the immigration officer doesn't think that the ties to the home country are that strong, you're not going to get a tourist visa. Karina's friend, my friend in Bogota, Colombia, he's a pastor in a church. He's an entrepreneur. He owns 3 companies in Colombia, in Bogota. He's a wealthy guy, makes a lot of money. He waited 2 years for a tourist visa, and they denied him a tourist visa. But he has strong ties to Colombia. Why did they deny him a tourist visa? Because he has a brother that lives in Miami. I think it's Miami. who's a green card holder. And they figured because he's got a brother in Miami who's a green card holder that he was going to come to Florida and stay and try to get legal residency here, even with all of his properties and his job and everything in Colombia. So they denied him the tourist visa. You know, I don't know how these immigration officers think, okay? But I do and I don't. But that's the reason I think that he lost his B2. Took him 2 years, paid his tourist visa fee, and he lost the money. So he went to Brazil on vacation. He said, all right, I'll go to Brazil. I don't care. He went to Brazil and spent his money. It is what it is, guys. Don't worry about getting a denial on a B2 visa. It's not going to affect the K1 at all. You got Hannah, don't worry about that. Bud Garcia, okay, you've been right on this with me. But I'm like 99% right on this, on everything I tell you guys. I make, 99% of the time I'm right. 1% is probably something that I didn't know because something changed. And then I learned, right? I learned how to do this. Things have changed. When I did my first K1 visa back in 2016, it was Annie Purser, thank you. No problem. And Bud Garcia, yes, you are. Now, my dad is Sir. I'm not a Sir. I'm Diego. My dad is Sir. My dad lives in Thailand. He's in Thailand. He married a lady from Chiang Mai, owns a restaurant. He's 84 years old, works 6 days a week. And he retired to Thailand after my mom died. He didn't want to be part of this immigration nightmare. So instead of bringing her here, he went there. So now he has to do, he went through the Thailand immigration nightmare on his end. But it's a little easier for a foreign national to live in Thailand than it is for a foreign national to move to the United States. I always say, sir, out of respect. No worries. You're good, bud. Don't worry. You are good. Remember, though, I'm not an officer. I was a senior chief. And, if you are an officer, if you're part of the military, you are an officer watching this, I will speak very slowly for you so you understand me. I'm kidding. Denise Jefferson. Hey, Denise. Hello, Diego and Karina. Once a visa is approved, how long does it take to issue? For Nigeria, 2 weeks maximum. My beneficiary has to stay in Lagos until he actually gets it in his hand. Super expensive interview. Come on, Denise. It's an investment in your husband to be, in your family. I had to stay an extra month in Colombia because Karina had to get an Interpol police certificate, which we had no idea or anything about. I planned for leaving Colombia in November. On November 30th, 2023, we were out of Colombia. I had brought enough cash to pay my landlord up until November 30th. Oh, we got to get an Interpol police certificate. So I had to live in Bogota another month. No, I got no problem with Bogota, but it cost me another month's rent. And I had to pay the electric bill, the water bill, the internet bill, the phone bill, and food. And, so it cost me an extra month of expense. And I was like, okay, whatever, And then because if I was able to buy the plane tickets to leave Bogota in November, the plane tickets would have been $1,000. But because we couldn't do that, I had to buy plane tickets to leave January. It cost me $2,000 because the price doubled. The price went up twice and doubled because it was Christmas and New Year's. So U.S. immigration cost me a ton of money. But you know what? It's history. Karina's sitting right here in America, okay, with a military ID, social security number, a Big Lots card, and maybe tomorrow we're going to get her driving. I'm going to give her some driving lessons in the parking lot down the street. Let's see how many pigeons she can run over. Let me see. So it takes about 2 weeks, Denise, in Nigeria. It's expensive. I was in Colombia an extra month. I ran out of cash. I had no cash. I had Karina. I said, I don't have any cash. How am I going to pay the rent? Because you can't pay the rent with a credit card in Colombia. You got to pay in cash. Karina said, I'll call my brother. So she calls up her brother and says, Hey, Diego's ran out of cash. So he lent me like, I don't know, 3 million pesos, and that covered the rent and stuff, and then I paid him back. Okay? But it put me in a difficult spot. So immigration did over an Interpol police certificate, which in my opinion really wasn't required, but we went ahead and got it. Denise says, can we pay money to expedite? No, can't do that. You cannot expedite a K1 visa. There's no way to do that. Denise, can we have it shipped to a DHL in Owerri? You can send it wherever, whatever addresses, whatever in the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria, whatever addresses they approve of is where you can have it shipped. If the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria approves of a location in Owerri, a lockbox to go pick up the visa, remember this passport and this K1 visa is a very sensitive document. Okay, it's a very important document. It's very sensitive, so you got to be careful where it goes. So the embassy controls that. So what I would do is I would say ask the embassy for an address if they have an approved address in Owerri where you can have the DHL deliver the passport and the visa. Okay, but what if you get the K1 visa and there's a spelling in the name, a spelling error in the name? And then you got to go back to the embassy to fix that. You know, there's a lot of things to think about. You got to do all that. But ask the embassy, Denise. I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm going to keep you on the right path so you don't mess up, okay? Larry Piercy, you know anyone that's used an onward flight ticket? Not me. Larry Piercy, no expediting for sure. I tried even with a congressman. You can't do it. You cannot expedite a K1 visa. You get in line and wait your turn. It is what it is, guys. Best Music 00. I like that name. Best Music 00. Hello, dear Diego. I sent my package to USCIS I-485. And how long are you going to take to give us the work authorization? Takes about probably 2 months to get that. And how long after you get your package they will get the green card? They're going to cash the check. They'll cash the check right away as soon as they open it. But you got to remember, Best Music, when your green card application goes to wherever, for us it's going to be Chicago, it's going to sit on a shelf probably for a couple of weeks before they even open it. And then when they open it, they will then send you a text message to your phone saying, okay, I got the green card application, as long as you included the form G1145, I think it is. Can't remember off the top of my head. So give it time, okay? Be patient. Denise Jefferson, thank you. You're welcome. Denise, you're right there now. You're getting there. You are getting close to the finish line, okay? You're getting there. A little bit more to go, just a little bit more to go, and then you're going to be going, then your beneficiary will be in the United States. Larry Piercy, yes, G1145. There you go. Include a G1145 in your K1 visa package when you send it to the lockbox in Dallas and when you send in for your green card. If you do that, you will get a text message from immigration telling you that you got it, that they got it. And then you can go to sleep at night going, "Ooh, okay, they got it." Rufaro Chirum, hi Diego and Karina, I am now applying for my adjustment of status. Okay. Can we still use the 2022 tax return? Yes, you can, because you don't have to file your taxes till April 15th of 2024 for 2023. Okay, you don't. The cutoff date for 2023 tax returns is April 15th, 2024. Okay, that's the law. That's congressional law. So if you don't feel like filing your 2023 taxes yet, you can submit your 2022 tax return. Okay, you got it? You understand what I'm saying, right? Let's suppose you got a K1 visa interview at the embassy in Bogota, Colombia tomorrow. You bring the 2022 tax returns because most people haven't filed their 2023 taxes yet. I'm filing my taxes for 2023 on February 28th, and I'm filing for Karina's green card on February 29th. I'm going to include the 1040 from my tax return in the green card application, but I don't have the tax transcript because you can't get a tax transcript probably. I couldn't get a tax transcript probably till May. So if you have a K1 visa interview between now and April 15th or April 14th, 2024, you can use your 2022 tax returns and tax transcripts. You got it? Andrew Bryan, what's up, Diego? What's going on, Andrew? Where are you? What part of the country are you in? Hannah, my fiance is male and lives in Iraq. We love our friends in Iraq. But one time when he applied for a tourist visa, he lied on his marital status. He put married with fake one. Does this impact his K1 visa as misrepresentation? Well, it was misrepresentation on his tourist visa. Okay. Don't do that. That's a big mistake. So he got denied his tourist visa because he lied on his application. As long as you guys are in a real relationship and you guys didn't lie on your K1 visa application, okay, there's no errors, there's no misrepresentation in the K1 visa application, you should be okay. But they might take it in consideration. They might look at it, Hannah, if he filed a false B2 tier, if he filed a fraudulent DS-160, I don't know how long ago that was. It doesn't matter if he lives in Iraq. It doesn't matter what country. It depends. What matters is the action. Okay, the action of misrepresentation is a big deal with immigration. You don't want to lie to them. They'll find out. Never lie on your DS-160. So when he gets to the point where he fills out the DS-160, they're going to ask him, "Have you ever been denied a visa?" He's going to put yes. B2. Leave it at that, and then let immigration figure it out from there. Okay, I'm not going to say it's going to affect your K1, okay, because it was for a tourist visa. Okay, but as long as there's no misrepresentation in the K1 visa package, you should be okay. I'm not saying you will be up 100%, but I don't think I don't think they'll hold it against him as long as there's no errors on his DS-160 this time around. Rufaro Chiruma, yes, I understand, okay. And Andrew's in Michigan. So we salute everybody in Michigan and to Andrew's family in Michigan. Antonio, Diego, we got approved yesterday, good. RNOA 1 was June 2023. They're moving fast now. She is nervous about the interview. She is in the Philippines, by the way. What is next for us? Okay, so if you're in the Philippines and if your beneficiary is in the Philippines, you got your NOA2 letter, right? Is that what you got, your NOA2 letter? Now you're going to wait for the National Visa Center to send you a welcome letter. When you get that, you print it. Then you're going to wait for the in-transit, which means that the MVC has mailed your K1 visa package to the embassy in Manila. Then you're going to wait for the ready status, which means the embassy in Manila are ready for you to start the process. Then you email the embassy in Manila, the American embassy now, and say, hey, I got my ready status. What do I do now? They will send you an email giving you directions on where to schedule the interview, how to pay the visa fee. And don't be surprised if your beneficiary gets asked for a sputum test at the medical exam at the St. Luke's Extension Hospital in Manila. Okay, we got another text here. Oh, it's my brother. He sent me a text. He sent me some information I've been waiting for the last 3 weeks. So we'll see what it is later. Let me see. So Antonio, what's next is you wait for your welcome letter from the NVC, and then you wait for the ready stat, the transit, the ready status, and then you're good to go. Give it another 4 months, 5 months. Denise Jefferson, super nervous about the interview. No, Denise, don't be nervous about it. You're good. I feel like you're ready for any question. You got this. Denise, should we prepare anyway and how? Here's the secret to a successful K1 visa interview at the embassy. I don't care if it's in Nigeria or if it's in Switzerland or if it's in India, Mumbai in the consulate, or if it's in Australia, London, England. Doesn't matter. I don't care what country it is. All immigration officers go through the same training. Okay, they all go to the same school and they go through the same training. And their goal is to flush out fraudulent immigration applications. That's all they're looking for. They don't want to block you. They don't want to stop you from coming to America, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary. They want you to come here and be with your husband or future wife. So the secret to a K-1 visa interview is tell the truth, dress business casual, act calm, don't get angry if they never get angry. If the immigration officer jerks your chain and tries to get you angry, like they did with Karina, they were jerking her chain, okay? And she just answered the question. She didn't get flustered. Stay calm as a cucumber. Just relax. Don't get flustered. And if you don't know the answer to a question at the K-1 visa interview, say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, they asked Karina 11 questions, 11, 12 questions. They said, they asked me, where did I grow up? They asked her, where was I born? Where did I grow up? Do I have a brother? They asked her, did you know that Diego was divorced in the past? She goes, yeah, I know. She goes, okay, do you know that he went through a K-1 visa before? Yeah. She said, yeah, this is his second time. She goes, I know that. Why? What's the problem? Oh, no problem. I'm just making sure you understand that you know that. Because, they asked how much money do I make? Basically, where do I work? What do I do? They asked Karina, have you ever been to the United States before? Karina said, no, I've never been to the United States before. Never been there. Then they asked her, have you ever got a visa denied before for the United States? And she said, no, I've never been there. How am I supposed to get a? And then they asked her, have you ever been in the United States without authorization? She goes, no, I've never done that. I've lived in 2 countries, Venezuela and Colombia. They said, okay, check. They asked her, do I have a brother? Yeah, I got a brother. She was answering the questions like this. Boom, 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 boom. And then they said, how did your relationship start? How did our relationship develop? Well, we've been together for 3 years. And I said, how did the relationship develop? And she said, well, he lived with me for 11 months. And then they kept interrupting her. They wouldn't let her finish a sentence. They said, okay, your visa's approved. You're good. But we need this Interpol police certificate. And Karina was like, okay, how do I do that? But she's sitting right here, guys. Don't get flustered at the immigration interview. Don't get angry. Don't get flustered. Just relax. Mm-hmm. If you don't know the answer to a question, say, I don't know. Don't make up some stupid story because you're trying to pass an interview. Because the immigration officer's looking at a computer knowing that you just made up a story, right? They might ask you a question that they know is wrong, and they want to see if you answer it, if you know the answer, when they know you don't. They might ask you a question, and they're looking at their computer, and they know this is the answer, but they ask you the question, and you say, well, I don't know the answer to that. I'm sorry. You passed. Because if you make up something, that's misrepresentation. Okay? Don't make up something just to pass an interview. If you don't know the answer, say you don't know. And dress business casual. Don't go to a visa interview in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and a bowl cap. Don't do that. So Denise, you've got this. Relax. Larry Piercy, could have been a typo. I have said I was not married lots of times. Larry, I lost count of your past wives, Larry. Hannah, thank you, Diego. They gave him the reason of his refusal was 214B during that time. Okay. He was just trying to get a visa to come on vacation to see you. Okay. And as long as he's upfront and honest on the K-1, on the DS-160, on the DS-160 this time around, don't make up any stories. Larry, so I am June 2023, also anytime. I would say for you, Larry, May of 2024. Andrew Bryan, I'm just here waiting for my green card now, Diego. My wife and I sent off the adjustment of status on January 19th. Okay. You got it, Andrew. Good job. Very glad for you. Francois, now that you are past all the steps of the K-1 visa, do you still keep updated on how applications processing moving along? All the time. The channel is still active. I still do the live stream, right, for you guys. So I got to know this information because you're going to ask me. So I keep up to date on everything. I even made a video when the price increase went up. They jacked up the price on K1 visas, green cards, all visas, actually, spousal visas. And I made a video about it. So on April 1st, the price of a K1 visa goes up, the price of a green card application goes up. And I made a video to keep you guys in the loop. And you guys keep me in Mountain Dew. And I keep you guys up to date on what's going on in immigration land. USCIS send me updates in emails. They email me with new updates, okay? So I'm the first to make a video. And you're the first to know. Rosie Nosacare. Diego is God. Diego is God's months. My fiance's case was sent to the wrong embassy, and Diego gave me advice to contact my state representative. I did. My case was transferred to Nigeria, and my fiance was approved. So, Rosie, I saved you from a nightmare. And why was that? Because you're watching the channel. Rosie's watching the channel, hanging out with us, chilling out, and I saved her from a massive nightmare and fixed the problem for her. And now she's good to go. And we're happy, happy, happy for Rosie. Janiela James. Hey, Diego, what's going on, Janiela? Rosie, Diego is God sent. No, everybody here, God made everybody, right? Whatever religion you are, everything eventually goes back to God, right? Somewhere. So I'm just doing his work, I guess, right? So excited, my fiance is coming to Miami. Woo-hoo! Very soon. Next step is adjustment of status. Woo! Karina, you are a lucky woman to have Diego. No, I'm lucky. No, Karina, suerte para mí. No, yo suerte para quien. I'm the lucky one. I'm the lucky one. God put his hand on top of me and said, I'm gonna move you into Karina's direction. Who knew that I would be married to a beautiful lady from Venezuela who lived in Colombia? Who knew? Right? Let me see. Thank you. You are a million. Rosie, we're glad to be here for you, okay? And we're glad everything worked out. Janiela, hope all is well with you and Karina. We're good. We're good. We got Karina her military ID today. The only thing that's missing is in the mail is her social security card. And I'm gonna stick a big investigation on the post office if that thing doesn't show up in the next few days. They're going to be very, very busy with investigations. Trust me, I know how to initiate stuff like that. Okay. Larry, are you talking NOA 2 May or interview by May? I'm talking NOA 2, Larry. Francois Livingston, thank you. I only asked because the majority of people are at the finish line. What? There's people on this channel at the finish line. There's people on this channel who just haven't mailed their K1 visa yet. You know, if you need help filing a K1 visa, don't send it to the lockbox in Dallas until you've got to ask me some questions first. Francois, look at that super chat. Okay, we give a Mountain Dew salute to Francois and Denise Jefferson and Benny Yao. Today is Larry, although Larry did stock me up on Mountain Dew, Larry, Francois, Denise, and Benny Yao have restocked me for the next part of February. Francois says on her super chat, million thank you for everything. Good things come to those who wait. I'll salute that. Francois, you're going to be soon reunited with your soon-to-be husband, okay? Who is from Morocco, living in Abu Dhabi, right? Denise Jefferson, super chat, Mountain Dew salute. Diego and Karina, thanks for all of your help in this process. Your recommendations and advice makes the process so much easier. That's the goal, right? If we just listen, we'll make it to the other side with success, with respect. Denise, I'll drink to that with a Mountain Dew.
Salute.
A salute to Denise, Francois, and Benny Yao for the super chat. Here's another thing. Make a list of stuff, right? Make a list of things that you got to do. When you get to the United States and you get married, you got to get married within 90 days, right? Some people make a mistake and say, well, I got 3 months to get married, but some months have 31 days, right? January's got 31 days. And then they get married at the 91st day or the 92nd or the 93rd day. That's not going to fly with immigration, and they get their green card rejected. You must get married within 90 days, not 3 months. When you get to the United States, your K-1 visa is obsolete. It doesn't exist anymore. Now you're on an I-94, right? An I-94. You got 90 days on an I-94. Get married within 90 days. And if you can, file for your green card within 90 days. If you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. If your I-94 expires, don't worry about it. You're still in America legally. No problems, okay? As long as you married in 90 days. So it's a process, guys. And Francois, we're going to keep this channel rolling, okay, for you guys. We're going to keep this channel rolling. I'm not going to abandon you at all. Never. Hitchum and Jetted. NOA 1 February 13th. And still no NOA 2. Well, you should get it this month, next month at the latest. Should I submit a case inquiry? No, you're too early. Because I heard people from June are getting their NOA 2s. Your K-1 visa, Hitchum, is totally different from somebody else's. When I filed my K-1 visa in April of 2022, it took 14 months to get NOA 2. Okay? Other people were getting their NOA 2s in 13 months, in 12 months. Did I worry about why other people were getting their NOA 2s before me? No, because my K-1 visa package was different from the other person. You just got to look at a K-1 visa package as a piece of DNA. Everybody's DNA is different. Treat it like fingerprints. Everybody's fingerprints are different. Everybody's K-1 visa package is different. And it gets processed differently. It's no cookie cutters, okay? There's no cookie cutters. So, you go into Facebook and you look in these K-1 visa groups, and the person says, I've been waiting for 14 months. I still haven't got my NOA 2, but old Billy Bob here, he got his in 12 months. It's irrelevant because your K-1 visa package is different from that person that got it in 12 months. Be patient. Relax. Don't panic. Okay? Wait out the process and you will get it. And Francois said, I deleted my Facebook account. That's a good idea. And as soon as Karina's green card is in her hand, I'm going to get rid of mine. Larry Piercy, you are definitely luckier than Karina. Karina's the lucky one. No, I'm the lucky one. I'm the lucky one, okay? And Denise and Francois, again, we appreciate those super chats. And Benny Yao, thank you, if you're still watching. Francois Livingston, Denise, I don't know how you do it. I simply cannot do a $30 super chat. It goes from $19.99 to $49.99. I don't know, Francois, why your computer does that. I make sure I am home on the nights the live chats are on. Okay, well, we're glad, Francois, because you may have a question, even though you're waiting for your NOA 2 letter. You should be gaining more and more knowledge from this channel as you get closer and closer to your NOA 2 letter, and then your mind will be totally relaxed, and you're not going to have any stress when you go to the next level. It's like a video game, right? You're going from NOA 1 to NOA 2, NOA 2 to the National Visa Center welcome letter, to the in transit, to the ready status, to the embassy interview, to the biometrics, it's a video game. And USCIS and immigration attorneys make it sound like it's a big complicated PhD project where you're trying to build a cybertronic project, right? It's not. It's easy. So the channel is Karina's idea, to put the channel together to declutter the process to make it easy for you guys. Let me see. So Francois, we're here for you, and we're glad you got rid of that Facebook junk. To me, it's junk. Hannah, I-129F got approved a few days, but I'm worried about what he did long time when he applied for the tourist visa and lied. That's why I asked if it impacts the K-1. We will be interviewed at the consulate. Where is your K-1 interview? He's from Iraq, right? Didn't you switch to Abu Dhabi or Turkey? As long as he's honest at the K-1 visa interview, messing up a B2 visa, tourist visa, shouldn't have an effect on a K1. They're two totally different things. Okay, misrepresentation is not a good thing. Okay, but it was a tourist visa. Now, if it was on a K1 visa, if this was a second go around and he misrepresented a K1 visa, then you're done. But he didn't get a 10-year block, right? When he misrepresented his tourist visa, when he made a misrepresentation on his DS-160, did they tell him that he was denied entry to the United States for 10 years? Did they tell him he was blocked? Did they tell him he could never apply for another visa? Answer me that question. Denise is talking to Francois. If you go, just look below your number in orange, and you will see where you can adjust it. I'm sure that Diego and Karina appreciate everything with no expectations. No, guys, you don't have to send super chats, okay? I do this for free, okay? I'm trying to save you $4,000 or $5,000 on immigration attorney fees, and I'm trying to get the stress out of this process so you guys can get through it without any stress. You don't have to send super chats, but we appreciate it, because then I can go buy some Mountain Dew, take Karina to eat breakfast at Hardee's, and do little things like that, okay? It's a little appreciation, you know, but we don't expect anything. But when you send it, we appreciate it. There's a lot of people in the world that they've got zero gratitude, all right? Zero, right? You do something good for somebody and they don't appreciate it. It's like it's an expectation. It's like expected. It's not. Okay, we love it. We love the super chats, and Karina and I go eat. We go to McDonald's, get a big breakfast, go eat Mexican food. It's just a little something, and you guys, support the channel. But you don't have to. There's no expectations at all. Cameo 1, I got my NOA 2 in 15 and a half months. Okay, took me 14. There you go, Cameo 1. H Money, hi Diego, I got my NOA 2 back in July 2023. I'm still waiting to find an interview date in Ankara, Turkey. They open interview slots randomly, which means I have to watch the website 24/7. Any advice? You just answered your own question. H Money, you just answered the question that you asked me. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking, okay? JD, hello Diego and Karina, how are you? We are good, 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 good. Enjoying visiting Florida. Nice weather here. Well, we're glad you came to Florida, JD. Welcome to Florida. And Francois is thanking Denise, wishing you a life's best. Francois and Denise, we're going to get your beneficiaries here into America, stress-free and at minimum cost, just plane tickets, and that's it. If I can save you $4,000 on an immigration attorney, and the main thing is the stress. I want to save you stress. I want you to be stress-free. Remember, I've been through this twice, and a spousal visa. And the first time was a nightmare because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And I got an RFE. But now I know exactly how to do this. Okay? I can write a book on how to do this K1 visa thing. And I figured out, I said to myself, this is not hard to do. Immigration make it complicated. Let me decomplicate it. And Karina said, you need to do something when I was in Colombia. I lived in Colombia for 11 months. And Karina's like, you got to do something. I said, okay, let me do the channel. Let me put this channel together. And then that way I can help other people. I've saved a lot of people making some stupid mistakes. I got a lady her husband was from South Africa. Now, I've been to South Africa. It's a beautiful country. And this lady messaged me on YouTube, and she said, the NVC is blocking. She was married. She was going through a CL1 spousal visa. She said, the NVC is blocking me from bringing my husband to the United States because my income was insufficient. I said, do you own a house? You got a bank account? She goes, yeah, I own my house. I've got $400,000 in equity in my house. I got X amount of money in my bank. I said, okay, go to a real estate agent, get an appraisal done on your house, print the proof of ownership of your house from the property appraiser's office, print your bank statements and upload it to the NVC, because that's going to counter the lack of income because you took all those deductions on your business account. So she did exactly what I told her to do. And 2 weeks later, she got her visa approved. Her visa interview was scheduled in South Africa. I think it was in Johannesburg, I believe, or Cape Town. And then a week later, he was on a plane landing at JFK. And I was the first person she notified. It was about 10 o'clock at night. I'm laying in bed. Karina was in Colombia, and I just got off the phone with her. And I get this message that said, my husband is in the United States, thanks to me. I said, no, I didn't do it. I said, I just gave you the path. I gave you the path. I took you out of the maze and guided you down the right path and got your husband to America. And I got these pictures with her husband waving an American flag like this at JFK for me. That's what the channel's about, right? NBC blocked her. They said your visa cannot be approved because your income's insufficient. And I said, wait a second, you're on a spousal visa. We can fix this. And we did. And she got it fixed, and she couldn't believe it. Let's see here. I'm glad that J Deep's in Florida. And Hannah. No, Diego, they only gave him a 214B refusal. Only one time he lied on his marital status. Then you're good. If they didn't tell him he's blocked from a visa, future visa, it's not going to affect your K1. But just don't make any stories up on the DS-160 for the K1. Okay? You'll be all right. If all he did was give him a 214 refusal, that's a one time. Francois Livingston, Diego, Denise said it best not long ago when she said the advice you give us would have cost us an arm and a leg through attorney fees. So super chats are a way of saying thanks a million for all you do. And we appreciate it. A $20 super chat or $10 super chat, I can go take Karina and get Hardy's breakfast. And I saved you $5,000 in immigration fees. But the most important thing is this. I'm trying to make the process easy for you guys and make it stress-free so you don't have to stress. I remember the first time I went through this, I was stressed to the max. I was like, man, and when I got the RFE in the mail, I thought it was a denial. I'm about to have a heart attack, but I'm glad I went through it. I'm done with that. That's over with. I mean, that was a lesson for me. It wasn't a mistake. It was a lesson. I got beautiful Karina, my beautiful wife, right here by my side. Okay, we had Mexican food today, thanks to you guys on the super chats. And life is good, right? Life is good. And let me see. JD, I got the same issue for the social security number. Then I visited office, get my number. They sent a new card after 10 days. Don't know still where the first card went. So you lost the first card too. So somebody is taking social security cards in the mail system somewhere and selling them on eBay. That's a joke, by the way. I'm not accusing the post office of doing anything wrong. But so you got your card lost too. It's insane. But I'm going to initiate an investigation with the Postmaster General so he can look and see what's going on with that. Let me see here. Andrew Bryan, we appreciate your help so much, Diego, for helping us through the process. Do you know anything much about B2 visas? Yeah, I know a lot about B2 visas. I can write the book on B2 visas too, for tourists. What question do you have on a B2 visa? I'll give you the answer. Denise is talking to Francois. I've been following her journey, Francois, from day one. Felt like a stake to the heart when I heard you had to start over. Never be a victim in this process. Francois, at first, was a victim, right? But then we got her through that part of it, and now she's a victor, and she's fixing to get her NOA 2 letter. Starting over is tough. I can tell you that once you get your NOA 2, it goes super fast. Denise, you're absolutely 100% right. H. Money, the process does not make sense in Ankara because of the interview scheduling. Every ambassador runs their embassy differently. In Bogota, the Philippines, India, the consulate in Mumbai, everybody's got their own way of doing things. And the State Department lets them do it. You would think there would be a one system, right? For every embassy in the world, but there really isn't. And you said here, some people had their NOA 2 after me and got their visa already because they got lucky. They found an interview date. Right. I was lucky lucky. In October of 2023, I got the K1. I got the packet 3, packet 4 email. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I jumped on the computer and paid the visa fee for Bogota, Colombia. And right there was 1 day left for a visa interview and biometrics. November 8th, I believe, and then November 16th was the visa interview. November, December were totally filled up, except for November 8th and November 16th. Boom, boom, I jumped on it and got those dates. Okay? I was lucky. Andrew, if you got questions about B2 visas, let me know. I'll answer the question for you. Francois, stay in touch with Denise. You are an amazing woman too. Everybody's amazing. You guys going through this process is not easy. The problem is like mental stress. The money part sucks too, paying for all these visa fees and all that. But the mental stress is probably the worst part. But if I can help you get through that, if I can help you learn and understand that 99% of you are going to get your K1 visa, there's 1% that won't for whatever reason, but 99% of you watching this right now will get your K1 visa. You'll get it. You'll get it. Hannah, thank you, Diego. After the approval 1 week ago, when will he be in the last stage, which is the interview? How many months till the interview? He will have to in Jordan. So he's going to go to Jordan, beautiful Jordan. We love our friends in Jordan, the U.S. Embassy in Jordan. Give it 2 or 3 months, Hannah. So he's going to fly from Baghdad to Jordan and then stay in a hotel in Jordan and then go to the interview. Make sure he gets his medical exam done. Also, don't forget the medical exam for the interview, okay? And the biometrics. JD, yes, I want to investigate it too, but not sure who to contact and got proper revert. The Postmaster General of the United States. Here's what I'm going to do. I got an email from the post office that said, we mailed your Social Security card on this day. Here's a picture of the envelope, Social Security Administration, Baltimore, Maryland. I'm going to print that as proof that they mailed me Karina's Social Security card. By the 18th of February, if I haven't got it, I'm going to mail that. I'm going to print that off with a letter to the Postmaster General and say, I want you to find this letter. Where is it? This is sensitive information. Where is this letter? It is in the hands of the post office. Find it. And they'll investigate it. But in the meantime, after that, I'm going to ask for a second card so Karina can get her card. They'll send a second one. I think you can get 3 replacement cards in your lifetime. Over your lifetime, you can get 3 replacement cards. So that would be number 2. But I want to get a waiver on that as being part of the waiver because it was not our fault that it got lost. Bahoo! Diego, when will my fiance get her permanent residency card after applying for it? 4 to 6 months. EAD card, 2 to 3 months. Now, the EAD card is your employment authorization document. Andrew Bryan, my wife and I are going to do an official wedding in August. I need my mom in attendance from Jamaica. How can she get the B1, B2 visa? Go online to the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica. Go to the U.S. Embassy website in Jamaica. Go to tourist visas. Click on there. Fill out the DS-160. Pay the visa fee and schedule an interview. That's how you do it. U.S. Embassy, Jamaica. Go to the embassy website. Click on tourist visas. Look for visas. You got all these different things. Look for visas. What kind of visa do you want? B2. Click on there. And then fill out the DS-160. Send it to the embassy and pay the visa fee and schedule the interview. Let me see. It's a little bit easier to schedule a tourist visa interview than it is a K1 visa. Bud Garcia, Denise Jefferson, I wish it did go fast. It seems like mine is going slow. Bud, you're in a slow boat right now. But send an inquiry and keep on their butt. Keep on their tail. Denise, there is a method to the madness on getting an interview. You're right. We were expecting to get one in 2 months. We took Diego's advice on timing and got an interview in 2 weeks. So I say, Denise, 1 month and 2 weeks. That's good news. Paya India. Hi, Diego. I am from India. Well, yeah. I got my sputum results negative. You're good. Hospital submitted my sputum results. My question is, how do I get my interview? Please help. We are waiting. Well, then you have to schedule the interview at the consulate in Mumbai. Send an email to the consulate in Mumbai and say, I want to schedule my visa interview. So the doctor, the civil surgeon in India, probably mailed the medical results to the consulate in Mumbai already. Well, they sent them to you in a sealed envelope, right? Honey's asking what was my advice. Denise says, I was super anxious, Bud, talking to Bud Garcia. I just wish things would slow down. The quicker the turnaround, the more expensive it becomes. You're right, Denise. That they wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. That's right. You know, this isn't a religious channel. This is everybody's channel. It's not a political channel. I don't care what your political affiliation is. I couldn't care less if you're a Republican, Democrat. I don't care. I don't care what your religion is. Okay? But my religion is, you know, I believe in God, and I believe that God is in control of my life and Karina's life, and everything happens for a reason. But that's me, you know. But I'm here for you guys. I mean, if you are Hindu, if you're Muslim, if you're Christian, if you're Methodist, if you're Baptist, I don't care what your religion is, because all those roads lead to where? To God, right? There you go. Let's see here. And Denise says, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Patience is the Lord. He said patience is a virtue, right? You got to be patient. God is in control, right? Of us. Andrew, in Jamaica, it's hard to get the B1, B2. I don't know why. Because a lot of fraud. There's a lot of fraud in the embassy. I mean, for tourist visas in the whole world. And the USCIS, they built a database of all the fraudulent B2 visas that they uncover, and they build this big database. And then those countries that are high on the fraud list, they're at the top of the list. Those are the hard countries to get tourist visas from. The secret is fill out the DS-160 and be honest, and you'll be fine. You got to have strong ties to your country to get a B2 visa. You got to have strong ties to your country of origin. At least 10 grand in the bank. You know, if you're from India and you want a tourist visa, have at least $10,000 worth of rupees in your bank. Have a house payment. Have an apartment. Have strong family ties. That's how you get a visa for a tourist. U.S. immigration want to see you go back home. They don't want you to come to America and stay. And that happens a lot. It's not that we don't want you, okay? We're glad to have you, but come to America legally. Don't try to defraud the government, defraud the visa process, because that hurts us who are doing it the right way. K Messenger, hola Diego and Karina, ¿cómo está? Ustedes muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? We received our appointment directly from Ciudad Juarez. They're scheduling them now for Mexico. We can do the medical in Mexico City. Absolutely. You can. What are the vaccinations required? There's about 11 vaccinations that are required for the green card, including COVID. I've made videos. I've made 2 videos on the vaccination requirements for the green card. Get all the vaccinations done in Mexico. It's a lot cheaper. Okay? Get them all done in Mexico. Karina got all her vaccinations done in Bogota, Colombia, starting in, I think, July or August of last year. And she, every week she'd go get a series of vaccinations until her card was filled up. It's kind of like when you go to, Cece's Pizza and you go eat there 5 times and you get a free pizza, right? Get all the vaccinations done in Mexico. I've made videos, K Messenger, in the city, in the town, which I can't pronounce, where you live. I can't pronounce the name where you live. But go to those videos and watch them. And it will tell you what vaccinations are required, okay? Hannah, the notice of action of approval, NOA2, said the MVC will process within 30 days. That's not true. It's not true. Can you explain it to me? Okay, it's not true. 30 days is a dream for everybody. We wish it was 30 days, but it's not. It's 60 to 95, 60 to 100, 60 to 120 days. So disregard that notice. K Messenger, for your information, you suggested you contact the consulate. I did. You were very right. Thank you. There you go. So K Messenger followed my advice, and now he has a visa interview in Ciudad Juarez for his beautiful future bride-to-be. Claudia Razniak. Hi, Diego and Karina. I'm in California. Whoa, with my fiance, and we are getting married. I'm thinking this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Haha. Seems like our marriage certificate won't be mailed back to us for 6 to 8 weeks. That's the problem with California. We were going to get married in Los Angeles because I can make the records private. But the clerk of the court in Los Angeles told me it could take 2 months to get your marriage certificate back to you. I said, well, I need it before that. I got to file for a green card. I said, forget that. I'm not going to wait 2 months for a marriage certificate. So we got married in Florida on the beach, and we had the marriage certificate within 20 minutes, not 2 months. But that's California, guys. That's how it is in California. How long do we have to file adjustment of status paperwork? I recommend you get it done in 90 days. If you can file for your green card within 90 days before the I-94 times out, you'll get your green card a lot quicker. But if you go past 90 days, okay, it's not going to hurt your green card application. It just means you got to wait longer to get it. K Messenger, I will review your videos. Thanks again, Karina. ¿Cómo va manejando?
Yeah. Muy bien, gracias.
Karina's good. Okay, she's hanging out with me. We had a good day today. We went to do some investigative work on her social security number. We got her military ID card today. She's good. Francois, super information, live chat. Catch the live chat Saturday. Good night, Francois. See you tomorrow, everybody. I'm logging off. Karina and I, we're going to log out. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Denise, Francois, Vinny Yao, thank you.
Gracias.
And we will be. What day is it today? ¿Qué día hoy?
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday. See you guys Saturday. Okay? But I might do a surprise super chat during maybe tomorrow or Friday. What do you think? Should I do a surprise super chat? Should I do a surprise live stream for you guys? Maybe Thursday, Friday? Let's see what happens. I'm not going to tell you the time, okay? I'm just going to pop in there and say, hey, everybody, what's going on? Let's knock out some more questions. See you guys. Definitely we'll see you on Saturday.